Hello and welcome to the first episode of a Arduino tutorial series. So this is an Arduino. And an Arduino is basically a microcontroller about the size of a credit card. And what a microcontroller does is basically a tiny computer that only knows when and how to send electrical pulses to different devices. So let's take a look at the different parts of an Arduino. Firstly, over here we have the different power pins. So if you want to power your devices, you would use the 5 volt or 3.3 volt and the ground pins. And so these pins are what's used to power it. It's the black cables are usually ground and the red ones are power. Now over here we have the different digital pins where you can see the numbers on them. And that's basically the digital information that gets sent to the devices. So it can tell the device, oh, move this much, or turn on your light this much, etc. And over here, we have our standard printer USB port. So this is the same printer cable that would be used anywhere else. And you just connect that up to a computer, and that's how you send the programs to the Arduino. But if you want to use your programs or your sketches more independently or without a computer next to them, you would use this power, regular power jack, which a 9 volt battery connected up with one of these should do the job. So in this video, I will teach you how to do a LED sketch as a first beginner tutorial thing. The first thing you need is a breadboard. A breadboard is basically a prototyping board. You can stick in wires and different pins into these holes, and it makes things work. So onto our breadboard, we will be, of course, needing an LED. So this is what we'll be lighting up actually. We need a resistor. What a resistor is used for in this project is so that the LED doesn't blow up, because otherwise too much electricity would go through the LED and it could possibly damage it. Lastly, we will need 2 wires. The wire colors don't really matter, it's just good. And that's really it. We'll also need, of course, a battery and the Arduino Uno. So let's get started. Firstly, take your resistor and place it into one hole, and then separate it by 3 and put it into the other one, like so. Next, take your LED and put the short leg of it, because there's 2 legs, in the same column as the resistor, as one of them, and the long one into the column next to it, or just a separate column. If the LED legs don't want to go in, try putting them up a different angle, like so. It's important to note that you can't let these metal parts of the LED and the resistor touch, otherwise you risk a short circuit. Okay. So all that's left is to connect these pins from the Arduino Uno to the breadboard using the wires. Firstly, take one of your wires and put them into the same column as the LED leg without the resistor. Put that into one of the digital pins. I am using personally number 12. Next, take your other wire and put it through the column of the first resistor leg and put it into the ground, GND column, like so. Now, once we write our program, which I will show you in a second, when you power the Arduino Uno on, the LED should be turning on and off with a delay of 500 milliseconds, as it is doing right now. So this is the Arduino IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, that is provided by the Arduino organization. What you will see firstly is that there are 2 parts of the program that we will be writing in, and this is true for everything. You have your void setup, this part, which is where you run things that you only want to run once. So if you want to initialize any variables or anything like that. And your void loop, which is for running continuous things, if you want things to repeat. As is the case with our LED, we want it to flash on, then turn off, and then flash on once again. So, the way we will first do this is we will declare a variable type int called LED, and we will set it to 12. You can set this variable to whatever digital pin you're using on the Arduino. Next, in void setup, we are calling a function called pin mode with parameters LED and output, all in caps, like that. So what this is doing is it's telling you that the pin LED, so 12, pin 12 is an output thing, so it's a device that you can output to. And that's it in the setup void. Next we have void loop, which is where all the juicy things happen. So we're starting off by calling a function called digital write to pin number 12, or LED, and we're setting it as high. Now this is going to sound weird, but when you set things as high in Arduino, then that really turns it off. It doesn't send any electricity to it. I know, it's quite weird, but that's just the way it works. And so here we have the delay void, and so we will be delaying it by 500 milliseconds, which will give us the small time, otherwise we won't be able to see the difference between turning on and off. And we will also be calling, once again, the digital write function, but this time instead of LED low, we will be using LED, instead of LED high, we'll be using LED low. And to finish the program off, we will be calling delay once again. Okay, so if you write this program and you switch the value of LED from 12 to whatever digital pin you're using, you should be good to go. Thank you.